Dumelang, Absheng, Sanbonani, bonjour, Jambo, Kigali, Mombasa, Harare, Lagos, Mpumalanga. We are so creative, we are Africa, we are here. It is such a privilege to be your host for these incredible 2 days where we come together to emerge in the spirit of emergence. Emergence is the ongoing state of change, the raw materials that build and shape our world, flowing, voluble, and in flux. The moving feast that is emergence is defined by our interactions, discoveries, and wonderings, both in mind and body, the spaces and the cracks where the new is born. Emergent ideas and strategies are often shaped by communal patterning, the movement of groups and centers of action. The zeitgeist, defining moments, black swan events, and mass movements. The social memes that we all enjoy, and it is embraced as the emergent future is indeed now. We find ourselves here at the iconic Victoria Yard, and some of you may have heard about its history last night if you were with us. It has actually recently been voted the 7th top 20 tourist markets in the world by the Merchant Machine. A round of applause for Victoria Yard. And so we gather for such a time as this in this iconic location at the SoCreative Summit 2024, brought to you by the British Council, the Business Arts South Africa, and supported by the Pan-African Creative Exchange. As mentioned, my name is Lungi Morris, and it is an absolute privilege and honor to be your host over the next 2 days. It's a jam-packed schedule, and I think it's going to take our shared commitment and collaboration to emerge and transform over the next 2 days. Through the technologies and narratives of research, entrepreneurship, creativity, enterprise, discourse, discussions, innovation, talent, talk, the list goes on. We really are in good company. But I'd like to sort of segue by just asking us in the spirit that we've just experienced for some commitments as we traverse these 2 days. And it's really the commitment to emerging requires that we actually respect and trust the process. And in doing that, I'd like to ask us to commit to being on time, because this is a live stream experience as well. So being on time means that the audiences who are far and wide are also able to join us, and the program can proceed as scheduled. I'd also like us to commit to being present. And I love that we started with that beautiful sound bath that actually draws us in together. And so there's a sense of shared community and presence. After all, being present is the gift, tongue in cheek. And also the connections that we'll enjoy, the diversity, as we've heard, in terms of backgrounds and opportunities. I just recently heard a quote that said, "We cannot connect the world if we don't reflect the world." So I think if we share in those commitments, I believe we will emerge truly, truly powerful and wonderful community that we are. So I'd like to welcome our participants from near and far, and not only present speakers, but all of you sitting in the audience. We're also joined today by the virtual community, I've said, and before we officially kick off the summit, I'd like to thank Dr. Sarah Mars for the sound bath and the experience that she shared with all of us. I think you would agree that it has transported us to a place of complete peace and calm, opening every receptor for us to fully engage, the commitment to engage, and with that, and in terms of, embracing what the summit has to offer. So now, onto our program. Supporting peace and prosperity by building connections means understanding the trust between people in the UK and countries worldwide, combining deep enterprise with the arts and culture, education, with their global presence and relationships over 100 countries. The British Council brings unparalleled access to young people and influencers with creative sparkle. to officially welcome and open the SoCreative Summit 2024. Please put your hands together for the Regional Arts Director, Sub-Saharan Africa, for the British Council, Farai Ncube Tarerai. Hi, welcome, Farai.
Okay, morning, everyone. Mamukase, Mangwanan, that's my mother's tongue. Okay. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone who's present here today to join us in this journey over the next 2 days as we connect, discuss, share knowledge and experiences under the SoCreative Summit 2024. And this year's summit, it's emergence. What I really love about this particular theme, it sort of really takes and wraps everything that has happened in the last 5 years and just sets us off onto a new journey, a continuous journey of self-discovery, of discovering the creative economies in Africa, and knowing strongly, with a strong identity, entrenched in our own heritage, traditions, knowledge value systems which we value, and connecting with the world globally. The SoCreative Summit started in 2019. And this was really out of curiosity, where there was a lot of young people, even older generation, coming up with spaces online and offline, creating hubs, networks, co-working spaces, even institutions to support the creative energy, the creative minds, the innovation, creative skills, enterprises, creation of art, and sharing of art. In these spaces, there was also knowledge sharing. It also became safe spaces for women, for queer communities, for people who are just different or want to be different in their own moment, to be able to connect, to share, and to share their lived experiences. What was also important about these spaces is how they started to connect with communities around them. As we are all in Victoria Yards, it does connect with the space outside of it and the community outside of it. It also started to see how these spaces became spaces for solutions, spaces for barter trade, spaces for local, regional, and international trade. And in a way, what I saw was a traditional way of life and knowledge, skills exchange that had resurfaced from our own culture, indigenous systems, way of life, in a contemporary setting driven by both young and old generations. This was nothing new. It was just us going back into our history, becoming confident and growing, solutioning, and occupying the space we deserve. But out of curiosity again, I said, okay, let's bring the people who are running these spaces, who are forming these spaces, and understand the why behind all this is happening, the investment, the energy they are putting in these spaces. Through listening and learning, what I saw and felt was a sense of belonging the spaces brought, shared struggles, shared among peers, learning from each other, wanting to connect more and more with like-minded minds, and also importantly, was to tell their success and failures to build hope and build a strong creative economy. With all these things, what was at the heart of the young people we brought together from South Africa, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Mozambique, back then in 2018-17, was a need to support building this ecosystem and allowing the people driving it at the center of it, to detect its values, to detect its form, and to detect its pace, and also to detect how it wants to engage. What was also important was how to sustain these spaces to ensure they continuously grow and become inclusive. And also importantly was how they can continue to provide value services to their communities, creatives, and artists. In 2019, as you see in the program, we've shared the history of the summit, and this summit happened between South Africa and Zimbabwe. Launched in South Africa in 2019, and then moved to Zimbabwe in 2020, 21, back in South Africa 2022, and today we're here in South Africa again, in Johannesburg. Taking from all the moments we have managed to bring together young minds, brilliant minds, has been really establishing the foundation of what this summit is all about, establishing the possibilities of new partnerships, new connections, and also sparking innovative ideas. But also importantly, it's just remembering why you started. And even today, we need to continue to remember why we started. What was also important was defining an ecosystem culture. What is the ecosystem that we want to see from an African perspective? What is it that we want to contribute to the global world? And through defining the ecosystem culture, what was important was a growth culture, a continuous growth, not stopping in the struggles, in the failures, in the success, was to really grow. And in the process is also professionalizing the sector to ensure that we're able to trade, to make money, to sustain, and to create shared values which take us forward, which influence the rest of the world, and which put us at the center as African creatives and artists. COVID happened, 2020, 2021, and we thought we cannot lose the space we've created physically, the connections. We need to adapt. And we came up with SoCreative digital meetups, which were a series of online conversations that happened over a period of 3 months, led by Stimulus in Harare. Also, what came out of it was young artists who had connected with the summit, both in South Africa and Zimbabwe, but also across Africa and the UK, and beyond the UK. And they decided to do a COVID-19 storytelling of what that means for them, being an artist or creative and not being able to meet physically, to show their work physically. And we produced a digital storytelling exhibition gallery as a result of those meetups. In 2022, just as we're able to start moving, connecting face-to-face, we managed to host the SoCreative Summit in Johannesburg at the Center of the Less Good Ideas with Business Arts South Africa. And the theme was Enterprise in Motion. In all these moments, what was important was to never stop, to acknowledge the hardships, but to know that we are stronger together and to continue moving. Today, we're here, Emergence. And I will not try to come up with a new meaning or to share my own thoughts around this theme. I'm just going to read a beautiful explanation or narrative or what it means to be emergence. Emergence is not merely a phenomenon, it is a journey of evolution and self-discovery. To emerge is to transcend boundaries, to break free from the confines of the known, and to embrace the infinite possibilities that lie beyond. It is a process of becoming, of taking shape, of finding form, a testament to the boundless energy in motion that inmates the creative spirit. When I reflect on this passage, to me, it just takes me to the beautiful energy, vibe that we have across Africa. And this is why we're all gathered here today, to share our experiences, to innovate, to move forward, but always to remember that why have we started and where do we want to go? I would like to thank the partners that we have walked this journey with over the last 5 years, who have managed to help us make this SoCreative Summit possible. I would like to start thanking Business Out South Africa, Manchester International Festival, Common Purpose South Africa, Pan-Africa Cultural Exchange, Arterial Network South Africa, Stimulus Africa Foundation, Zimbabwe German Society, and HIVOS for being the partners that have walked with us throughout the journey, supporting us with their knowledge, expertise, financial resource, human resource to make this summit possible. I would also want to thank my British Council team who are present today and those who could not travel to be with us today, and also those who left the British Council for all the work they've put in making the SoCreative Summit possible, and to be able to hold and to create a space for young minds, for old minds, and even middle minds like myself, to be able to come and interact, connect, and share. As I end my official opening, I want to share wise words from my late father. And he always used to say, when you meet a person, always see them for who they are and always show respect. Try to learn something from them, and that's how you're going to grow in wisdom. So with those few words, I want to say thank you so much all for being present today, and I look forward to connecting with you all, to sharing knowledge, and also building forward. Yeah, thank you so much.
Farai, thank you so much for a reminder of the journey that we've been on together as SoCreative. It's a reminder also of value, a reminder of partnerships. I don't know if you're aware, but the creative economy globally has recently been valued at $4.3 trillion US. And I believe that Africa derives less than 2%. So I think a running theme as we look at emergence is also to understand our value, is to appreciate our value. And through collaboration such as this with the British Council and yourselves and this community and the SoCreative family, we really get to understand the value of the cultural creative economy. Another incredible organization that I am truly honored to have journeyed with is an organization that I'm about to introduce. With a DNA pulsating with essence of mutually beneficial partnerships, Business Arts South Africa champions the transformative might of collaboration and the arts. However, they're not just about connections, they're about sparking dynamism and igniting change through partnerships that aren't just transactions, they're catalysts for impactful social change. Impactful social change. I really need to emphasize that, because without BASA, I don't know that South Africa and its creative economy and creative community, who you all represent, would really have moved and been catalyzed in leaps and bounds. So please welcome the champion behind all of this, BASA CEO, Mr. Ashraf Jourdain Jacobs.
Me and Mike's are not great friends. Let me get my mic technique right. Good morning, everyone. Too loud, too loud. I'm going to forget the formalities. This is, after all, a gathering of creative minds. But for those who appreciate protocol, consider it observed. Isn't this a glorious Joburg morning? I thought winter had sprung upon us, but it's given us a little bit of respite just for the SoCreative Summit. While putting together my random thoughts for this very brief address, Eugenie Drakes came over to me sitting in the Connect Lounge and remarked on the incredible transformation of the yards. Yes, it's an iconic space, but made so much more iconic by the amazing Albie Michaels and the Summit team. Isn't it glorious? Huge thanks to Dr. Omar, not just for the beautiful sound bath at the top of the session, but also for putting me together for roughly 5 years. I used to see her at least twice a week because I have a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old, and that does your back in. I like to say to Dr. Mars, she's better than all of Humpty Dumpty's, how does it go? All the king's horses and all the king's men. Better than all the king's horses and all the king's men. Huge thanks to Dr. Mars, to Lungi, and of course to our lead partner, the British Council, Farai. What a beautiful address. And the phenomenal BASA team, especially everyone who's pitched in to help make the next 2 days happen over months and months. But back to the business and the art at hand. In the 1930s, the fight for African liberation was bolstered by the voice of Nnamdi Azikiwe, the future first president of Nigeria. He spoke of a renascent Africa, a continent experiencing a cultural rebirth. Azikiwe envisioned a new generation fired by a selfless desire to utilize culture for the service of humanity, carrying the torch of freedom across the continent, which is what we're doing right now. Later, Frantz Fanon echoed the sentiment, calling for the emergence of a new man. I'm sure he would have changed that to a new person. But moving on, building a new society and achieving true decolonization required radical change makers, a critical mass forging a path to freedom. Futurist Jason Silver, whom I often quote, takes it a step further. He suggests that we, all of us, are a way for the universe to understand itself. We exist in a paradox, a beautiful tension between the mortal and the divine. Yes, we're stuck in traffic, dodging taxis and navigating the daily grind, all the while experiencing load shedding and the many challenges that come with challenged service delivery. But Silver reminds us, with a quote I want to share, we are at the same time a marvelous conduit in a timeless whole, from which molecules and meaning flow, from neurons to nebula and back again. The threads that weave together successful partnerships are both complex and intricate. We are part of a global community, a lineage that extends beyond ourselves. This summit is about harnessing that power, that creative spirit that Azikiwe envisioned, that drives Silver's philosophy. It's about forging connections, building bridges, and amplifying the voices of this renascent Africa. So let's get going. Let me stop. Let you explore, create, and inspire. Have an awesome SoCreative Summit 2024. Thank you.
Thank you ever so much, our CEO Ashraf, for creating context. I really am so inspired. I actually also am thrilled to welcome somebody who is dear to my heart, who's been my champion in my corner, Mr. Albie Sachs, who is a force of nature. I'm actually at a loss for words. A force of nature who's put this summit together, who's convened, who's created, who's actually the embodiment of everything that we say when we say to be creative, to be alive, to be African, to be here, to be now. Please welcome, and a resounding welcome for Albie Michaels. I got you back.
I see Lungi got me back for the Morris thing. Albie Sachs, thank you very much. Younger version, but it is him. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SoCreative Summit. Thank you for allowing me a few words. It's going to perhaps be a little poetical, but since we started this whole journey, I've been writing this speech, right? A couple of months to try and just get the essence of what we're trying to do, the essence of what the curatorial panel tried to do, the delivery teams, all of them. So if you can see all these circle motifs we have around us, and the Business and Arts South Africa logo, and the British Council logo, in the Summit logo. Here we go. Creativity and emergence, two intertwined concepts in the realm of human innovation and expression, find resonance in the symbolism of a circle, as seen plastered all over our summer designs, right? So the circle, with its seamless and unbroken form, serves as an anchor point for the understanding of fluidity, the interconnectedness, the eternal nature of creativity and emergence. At its core, the circle embodies completeness and wholeness. It's a symbol of unity, representing cyclical nature of life, the interconnectedness of all things, and the continuous flow of energy and ideas. It is in this context of creativity, the circle reminds us that the creative process is not linear, but rather iterative, a perpetual journey of exploration, experimentation, and refinement. Moreover, the circle symbolizes infinite possibility. Its unending shape suggests boundless potential and endless cycles of renewal and transformation. And within the creative process, emergence occurs when new ideas, perspectives, and innovations come into being, often through the convergence of diverse influences and the breaking of existing paradigms. As ripples spreading outward from a stone dropped in the water, emergent creativity radiates outwards, inspiring further exploration and evolution. Furthermore, it looks a lot, but it's very big. Furthermore, the circle motif evokes a sense of continuity and legacy. It reminds us that creativity is not a solitary pursuit, but rather a collective heritage passed down through generations. A timeless tradition of expression, innovation, and cultural exchange. As new ideas emerge and evolve, they become part of the ongoing narrative, contributing to the ever-expanding circle of human creativity and human existence. Over the next 2 days, we have an extraordinary lineup of events and experiences curated to spark your imagination, challenge your perspectives, reignite your passion for creativity and for culture. And quickly diving into what emergence truly means, it's not just a word. It's a pulsating force. It's a call to action, a testament of the boundless potential of human creativity. Emergence is about transcending boundaries, breaking free from the shackles of the known, and embracing the infinite possibilities that lie beyond. And here, within the confines of the SoCreative Summit, we're going to explore as many of these facets as possible, squeezed into 2 days. We could have actually filled an entire week with all the engagements you're about to experience. From immersive experiences to enlightening talks, collaborative discussions to vibrant Pecha Kucha sessions, get ready to delve deep into the heart of emergence, where innovation, narrative, and research converge to shape the future of creativity and culture. And speaking of convergence, let's just briefly speak about the pillars of exploration: technology, narrative, and research. These are not just buzzwords. They are the driving force behind the creative revolution of the 21st century. Imagine a world where virtual reality blurs the lines between physical and the digital, where artificial intelligence unlocks new realms of possibility, where narratives challenge convention and inspire change, and where groundbreaking research pushes the boundaries of knowledge with each breakthrough. Here's the best part. We don't really need to imagine it, because that world is now. And we're not just spectators in this revolution. We are active participants. Each and every one of us has the power to shape the future of creativity and culture, and to harness the boundless energy of emergence, and to chart a course toward a world defined by endless possibility and profound transformation. All you need to do is choose your level of involvement and step into the circle. Welcome, and please enjoy the SoCreative Summit 2024.